Yeah, welcome. We have a brand new podcast ongoing, Tempelores Talks. So let's start with introducing ourselves. Do you want to go first?
Okay. Hi there. I'm Elvira. I live in the Netherlands. Yeah, I've been doing things for Tempelores many years, but also with a very large break in between. And I'm looking forward to this podcast.
Yeah, you were there from the beginning, from the website at least. Yeah. So then it's my turn. I am Sabine. I'm the editor from Tempelores magazine. I started it many, many years ago, I think in 2006, after doing a bit of a email version of it. I soon realized it would be better to have a website and go with that. I found a team. Elvira was part of that. Some other people were part of that. We started writing reviews, collaborating with bands, record labels, festivals, and here we are now, like in 2024, still doing this.
Yes.
And we are now doing a podcast because people like to listen to podcasts. But what I did in music, well, Tempelores mainly. I take pictures of bands, write review of bands, do interviews. I recently did a series on YouTube with interviews. But yeah, where did it start? The obsession with music. How was that for you? Where did you start?
I think I had some classmates. They were in a band. And I think they had their first gig in our local venue. I think I was 14 maybe. And I went to see that. And I think I returned to the venue a couple of times because the band had other friends. They were also in a band and we went to see them. I think there was a local competition. And then you had to be 18 to get in the venue. And when I was 18, I started working there. First behind the bar, didn't last very long. I joined a crew, the backstage crew, making sure there was hospitality. The fridge was filled, saying hi to the band when they arrived, building up the stage. And later on, that switched to stage manager. And then, well, I think more or less about the same time, I met you and started to do photography. So I practiced at the venue as well with a crappy camera. I think it started there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I remember that when we met, we quite had a good feeling of the same sort of bands that we always liked. And I obviously spent a lot of time in the venue where you were working.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how we embraced the lives we had and got that together. I think for me it started when I was, I think, 8 or something. Was going to a concert from Sentenced with friends. I had a lot of older friends that I was hanging out with. And I think it was my friends who went to this concert with one of the parents, and then they took me, and obviously my parents were not very aware of me being there. So I hope my dad's not listening yet, but sorry. I think I probably said that we would be at some party, and they dropped me off there, and then we were at some sort of party. But yeah, it was Sentenced in Tilburg. They were support for Tiamat. So yeah, I mean, you could argue that Tiamat was the band I would first go to see, but since Sentenced was support, they played first.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess I always liked them a lot. And then, of course, with the same group of friends through the years, I went to more concerts of both Sentenced, but also other bands, but never as regularly as when I got a little bit older and went to do my own things. So yeah, I guess. And then when I was a teenager, I was always hanging out in Papendrecht, where some of my friends moved to. And there was this bar called Onder de Trap.
Trapje af.
Yeah, we called it Onder de Trap. It was, I don't know. Small place. But yeah, there was actually there's actually where Tempelores kind of started, I think.
Well, it's funny because I think my first concert wasn't the local classmates in the band that played. I think it's also a parent from a classmate. They went to the Kelly family and they asked me to come along. And I said, sure. Never been to a gig anyway or a concert. And it was in Ahoy. So that was a quite large production already. Yeah. And I remember standing there in the middle. The stage was quite far away, but it was so huge and the sound was so impressive and the lights. It was, yeah, I think I fell in love right there.
Yeah, I think for me, I was always like the energy of what's going on, and you were in between the crowd, but you still feel like as if it is a personal thing or something, at least at that age, I guess. But yeah. And then it's funny because my parents were never really doing much with music. I know my mom had some sort of background of seeing a lot of hard rock shows in Enschede, Twente University, because her best friend's father was director of the university, and they organized a lot of gigs. So I know she met a lot of bands like Whitesnake and Van Halen, for example. But I mean, they were lucky that they were able to get in at a younger age than usual. But my mom never really talked much about it, so I don't know that much about it, other than that I found some old letters at some point. But my dad really has absolutely nothing with music. So I think the only thing he would really appreciate is Queen. But that's about it. So
yeah, I think my parents, I don't know, they quite like classical music. I remember my childhood, every Sunday, it was like all day long classical music. I played classical instrument, my sister did.
I'm so jealous. I was never allowed.
Well, I wasn't really, I had to pick something I could drag along with me on my own bike. So everything I wanted to play was not possible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think when I was young, I wanted to play violin, and I proposed that to my mom.
I could choose that one because you can put it on your back.
Yeah, I proposed it, and my mom was like, no, you're not talented. But I think she mainly meant that, no, I don't want to listen to you practicing. So, yeah, that never really happened. But I did learn to play a little bit of piano through the mother of a classmate. She really enjoyed playing piano and was teaching her daughter also. And then when I would visit them, I would make them play Furielise a lot. And at that point, my classmates didn't like it anymore that I kept asking for it. So the mother started to teach me a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but that's I never really got into music classes that much myself.
But I think my parents, they were not only listening to classical music. I think my mother quite liked the Golden Earring. I think she liked the drummer a lot. He was also singing, I think, but she always said that they had the wrong singer. Yeah, and they listened to, I don't know, all those other known bands from their childhood, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Deep Purple, they liked.
You can't really escape from that much, I think.
Yeah.
If it's like so popular.
And it's kind of funny because a couple of years ago, I heard, it was really funny. I think they like a lot of different music, like me these days, but I found my dad listening to Limp Bizkit.
Oh, cool.
The Nookie. Like,
yes. Awesome.
What are you listening to? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the only band for our entire family was Queen always. We always enjoyed Queen. We've been to the Queen musical in London when my dad turned 50. So, yeah. We always had a good connection with Queen. We really liked it. Brian May was on the stage back then. After the show, he would play some music at the end, like a couple of songs, and you could actually meet and greet in the hall afterwards. So yeah, that were really cool memories in a way that the entire family went there and enjoyed it. So cool. If you look at the genres that we've been listening to, it goes up and down and everywhere, I guess. I mean, you always hear people having these phases of kind of genres that they listen to. I mean, for me, I obviously started with St. Dance, which was at that time still death metal. Later on, they went a bit more towards the gothic doom kind of, no, not even doom, more like gothic kind of way. But then I also listened to the doom gothic sounds a lot. Then a bit more melodic death. That always has been there, I guess, because it's somewhat catchy, so it never really goes away. I've been listening to quite some industrial metal.
Yeah, I think you introduced me to the genre.
Yeah, possibly.
You dragged me along.
Oh God, I remember we spent so many years going to Amphi Festival.
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah.
But I have some good memories of in Rotterdam Waterfront.
Oh yeah.
Some industrial shows. Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
I think my genre-wise, I think I was actually the soft girl. Still am, I think. Yeah, I started with the normal. I had guitar lessons as well. Don't ask me about it, but I wasn't good. So I played all these like pop, the fire song, the fireplace songs. But I quite liked when I was in high school. I quite liked I was a grunge girl. I liked all those bands like Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Bush. I still listen to all of them these days. Actually, last year a lot. And I think later on it's, well, I have to say more rock, more metal. I went to Finland a lot of times.
Yeah.
We both share that love. So I listen to a lot of Finnish bands.
Yeah. We even been to Finland together this year. So.
Yeah. Well, more times.
Yeah, but this year specifically still.
We never went together. We always.
No, that's not true. We've been sharing flights for Tuska at some point.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we did. Giel was also there.
Okay.
We were waiting. I remember that we were in the same flight even. But
I think we always just ended up being in Finland at the same time.
Yeah. But once, I'm pretty sure one time we were on the same flight.
Okay, funny.
Yeah.
So there's always been that. And then, because I worked in a venue, I've seen so many bands. I think at one point, well, I was practically living there. So there was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Tuesday.
Yeah.
There was a gig. I think it was quite a busy time at the venue as well. I've seen so many bands. Also introduced to so many different styles of metal and rock, and well, also just not.
I guess at some point it comes all like natural in a way. I mean, for me, I always have to listen to whatever drops in my inbox for all the reviewing. But I mean, I always like to give a bit of a balanced genre offerings to the website. Like, I don't want it to be one genre only.
Do not listen to one genre only. I'm like a mood listener, so it depends on my mood, what kind of music I choose to play or put on. Or
people often ask me, what is the kind of music you listen now when you don't have to review?
Yeah.
And then
so what is it?
It's either 80s music or it's black metal.
Yeah.
Most of the times. Although I think last year I've been listening a lot more to industrial metal mainly. I mean, I've taken a break from that for quite some years. I have my reasons for that, but that's probably an whole episode around that. Maybe some other time, but yeah, I mean, I've been going back to that a little bit more. And I think also because a lot more bands are coming back with that kind of style.
Yes.
You see it becoming slightly bit more popular nowadays. And of course, I think black metal is really a genre that I grew into. Like when I started listening metal, and even when I started Tempelores, it was okay for every once in a while. But I think you kind of grow into it more at some point.
But I think the whole black metal scene has also
changed, well, a little bit.
But also the artists. I think.
True.
I think maybe they're one of the few genres where they explore themselves a little bit more or try to develop. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I always explain to people who don't listen to black metal that I think to my view, there's like different styles in there, and that one is that really satanic, old school kind of underground vibe.
Yeah.
You know, recorded in mama's basement kind of feel. And they're more like satanic, being true and whatever, and burning churches and whatever, you know. Yes. That's one side. We all know those stories that made the genre maybe even biggest. Nowadays, you see a lot more like black metal that focuses more on nature, spiritual.
Yes.
And that's it has a bit more, I don't know. Openness, but also a sort of catchiness into it. It's kind of weird to speak about black metal with catchiness in the same. But I think that's there's two different sides of black metal, and for me, I try to stay away from all the Nazi bands. Although you cannot always know, that's a bit hard. I mean, I don't know what drummer X on party whatever in like 20 years ago, where five people were, if he made some sort of different kind of unpopular opinion. And sorry if I don't know that. I mean, some have obvious symbolism, then you can stay away, but you don't always know what somebody has been saying to somebody on a party like 20 years ago or whatever. So I people can always interpret things the way they want. So I mean, when it's obvious, you obviously try to stay away a little bit from that. But I'm not gonna like dig into people's lives that much to find out.
But I'm also not the person that there are like black metal bands that probably sing about burning crosses and churches and whatever. But I listen to the music and not always. I don't always understand what they sing.
Yeah.
Or actually growl, not sing. But I don't look up the lyrics, so they can sing about burning churches for all I care. But I listen to the music sometimes and not. So I don't always.
But I don't always take that too literally anyway. But like, for me, it's more like if somebody puts up like really clear symbolism,
yes, of course, then you stay away.
Like, that's not for me. I don't need to prove how good of a metalhead I am by being like that. Sort of no. But I'm also not gonna like being completely like on edge on when somebody says one word wrong right away, because it's always a bit like, how do you interpret something? And I don't know. It's kind of like you have to walk on eggshells when talking about this topic sometimes, because people can have really strong opinions about that. But for me, it's like when it's not completely obviously, then whatever, you know. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna figure out what somebody's been doing in their parties or what he's been saying, whatever. I mean, I listen to the music and I either like it or I don't. That's it, you know.
Yeah. So.
But, yeah.
You're talking about some sort of memory here, I think.
No, not necessarily, but more like there's a lot going on about that in that scene. Like, I mean, Steelfast in Finland, was it this year or the year before, has been having lots of issues because they booked the wrong bands. And like people made a big scene about that. Sure, some of them were quite obviously, but their statement and the festival organizer was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, we'll have them anyway, sort of. And then some other bands were like, I don't want to be on the same bill as that band. So drama.
Yes. Always.
So yeah. Let's move on to the memories then. I understand. Yeah. Good. We have so many memories from through the years, right?
You said in the introduction or something earlier, you said 2006. So that's...
I think that's where it started. The magazine.
20 years ago.
Yeah. I know. We've been around for so long already.
Yes. Well, I think I haven't done a lot the last 10 years, but before that...
Yeah, but that's life, right?
That's life, yes. So there are so many memories, but a few good memories. And I shared this one with you earlier today, because it just dropped in my mind. There was this band I liked. We were at Pink Pop, they played, and then we were watching Fateless. Totally different kind of band, but we're standing at the back of the field, and Fateless was playing, and this band was standing a few steps away from us, and Fateless was impressive. And everybody on the field was dancing, and it was so fun to be standing so close to the band you like and just go nuts on totally different kind of music. That is one memory. But I have a lot of good memories of interviewing some bands. Mainly, actually, not the interview itself, but more the conversations around it.
True. That's often.
Because I like... but when you interview a person about the album or the concert...
they have to promote something, So that's one thing. But then if you talk a little bit further, then you really get to know the person a little bit better. Yeah, that's what I always like. And I think if you look at that, I mean, obviously one of the best memories I have was the two ska after parties. For like not even, I can mention one, but there were so many that we were together. That I mean, it's silly that it's not like that anymore as it used to be. But I mean, we had so many crazy stories from that. I mean. And talking about interviews, I remember that we wanted to go to the Calum show, the farewell show. They were quitting their band, basically. And obviously that show was sold out really, really fast. And we were like, let's try to get you in anyway.
Because why not?
Anyway, during the day there was Tuska, we were working. And I remember, I think you got the call with an invitation to do an interview.
I think so, yeah.
And that's like, what are you going to ask a band that's
splitting up?
Like, but we said yes anyway, and we'll do it. I said, let's go. We're winging it. We'll do it. And that interview was one of the legendary interviews that we often still talk about. So yeah. I mean, it was totally weird doing that.
It was very weird.
But in the end, we still got like, I think, a lot of questions for them that we asked.
Yeah, but I think it also depends on the person you're interviewing, because I've met persons, or how do you say it, a musician that was always, that, I don't know, they're closed or they're only...
Yeah, sometimes they're scared to do an interview, and then
they give
really
really short answers, and you try to ask interesting questions where they can elaborate a little bit, but then they give really short answers, and then you're thinking like, okay, do they even want to do this interview or not?
Yeah, true, but
so those are not the ones that stick.
I think for me, in the end, I pretty much always liked the interviews afterwards I've done. I think some of the most recent ones I did, I really loved, but there was, I'm not gonna lie, there was also at least one that I thought, you're just a big dickhead. I mean, I'm not gonna drop the name here, obviously, but I mean, in the end, I still had a good conversation and a good interview, but I just thought the guy was just no.
I think you have to have a certain vibe or a connection for a good interview.
True. And I think one of my other best memories there for that reason was with IMX. I mean, the singer talked with me about what he has experienced in mental institute that he had to go to. And he was like really open about it, but in his way that he's just not talking about what happened, but really it felt like he opened up. And that was so special, that moment. I mean, we totally have never met before, and it felt instantly like we were best friends or something. Like that's unique. You don't have that with everyone.
No,
like,
definitely
not in at that level. So therefore, I will always remember my IMX interview. It was really, really nice. Yeah.
I think another one for me, best memories, is not actually a band or a gig. It's actually driving to one of the festivals we did together. I think we went to Germany a couple of times, different festivals.
Yeah.
And you always make me listen to certain bands.
Yeah. People meet their favorite bands by being in my car, you know? I forced them to listen to their next favorite band.
No, not really.
At least to tell, I like to tell that to myself. But I'm really curious. I think I know the answer, but what band?
Well, you made me listen to Killed, Chroma. But they're not my favorite bands. I still don't listen to them.
Poison
Black, but I think I already listened to it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because we went to the concert in, what was it, 2007? No, earlier. That was even before Tempelores, I think.
Yeah,
was it the first album? Yeah, we were at the show in Tilburg.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, not.
I was there with you and your friends in Tilburg, and it was with a goth minister and a Kunakoil.
Yeah, you keep telling me, but
you were there. I'm absolutely sure.
Absolutely not, because the first time they played it, I saw them. I think they played in Be Below.
I'm absolutely sure you were there.
I don't think so.
Yes, I have strong memories of me having been after.
Sorry, guys, I'm getting older. I can't remember every gig I went to.
Yeah.
Or seen.
But that might also.
Because recently I found a PhotoPass sticker, and I couldn't remember. I actually went to the show. I took photos. I had to look up on the website Tempelores to see there was actually a review with my photos, and I still couldn't remember. I've been in the venue, seen the band on stage. So
you must have had the best after party ever.
I wish. No, I don't think so. I really don't know.
Oh well, but
too many bands, too many.
Yeah, I think the best memories also lies in making so many friends along.
Yes, I met a lot of people.
Yeah, you meet
everywhere.
Yeah, you meet so many people everywhere.
But we've always traveled as well. We've been to other countries. I've been to London. I've been to Germany. I've been to Austria. I've been to Luxembourg. I've been to Belgium. Been to Finland. I think I've been to Sweden. I've seen bands in Norway.
Yeah. Yeah. See, for me, but quite similar to that. Yes. I mean, I think I did even see a band in Costa Rica. I didn't really review about that because I was on holiday. You know, at some point you have to know not to go that crazy. But I mean, I really enjoy, even if it's a small band. But I've met maybe one of the members before, and I'm interested in what they are doing. I don't really mind if I have to travel far, because can you really expect from a small band that's maybe just starting to have a show around the corner from where you are living? Is that a real expectation you can have? I don't think so. I mean,
I was working in Be Below all the time, so come to Be Below.
Sure, but I mean that and
it was a small place.
That is.
But still, there have been a lot of big names these days. So.
If you know somebody and he has a new show with his new band, there might be if they invite all their friends and family, there might be 100 people there. Yes. And how nice is it if you travel there? It's nice for them to see some familiar face and taking the effort. But also for me, it's I can actually get to see a band firsthand, you know? I really enjoy doing that. If I really believe in somebody's music and his ability to do a good song, then I don't mind that much. And then sometimes I'm really annoyed with the people around the corner who complain that they have to drive 1 hour to see their favorite band, and
and I think in the
just don't go.
I mean, we live in the Netherlands. We have so many venues compared to other countries. I think so many. I mean, we have if a band is coming here, they play at least two or three shows. And the Netherlands is small, so it's 2 hours. Okay, I also complain. It's 2 hours and 2 hours back, but now we're older.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I remember, and I just remember, I think we were at the Apocalyptica gig in The Hague. In December.
Yeah.
And I think they were doing DVD recordings in Cologne. Was it Cologne or Dortmund?
No, Cologne. That was in Cologne.
Was it Cologne or Dortmund? Anyway, I think that we were standing outside after the gig, and he was like, one of them was like, well, I think it was on a Thursday or something, on a Friday near the weekend, and they were doing on Monday or so. A few days later, like, we play a show in Germany. Do you want to come? And I remember I was looking at each other like, do you have something? Oh, maybe we could. Do we have work? No. School? No. Shall we go? Okay. And then
just go, I mean.
And then we don't know.
Life is too short to be sitting at home missing your favorite bands. Come on. Instead of complaining on Facebook that you need them to be in your backyard, just make the effort and drive a little bit and see your favorite bands. I mean, that's what support is all about, isn't it?
And I met a lot of friends.
True. You meet so many people along the way. So, yeah, that's the best thing about this, I think. Yeah. Good.
Music connects.
Music connects and unites and whatever. Yes. All that.
Yeah, but it's true, when you go see, I think it's always kind of special when you go see a band, that everybody's there likes the same band on stage.
Yeah.
So it brings a little bit of, how do you say it? Kameraadschap.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Yes.
But it does,
It is. It is. Yeah, and it's cool if you see those people again at some other show and you recognize each other and you were like, yeah, we were headbanging next to each other, Yeah, totally. Okay, then we have some categories that we're gonna have in this series. And one thing is one category that is specifically for you, Elvira.
Yes, because you forced it on me.
I forced it on you. And it's called All About the Bass.
Yeah, apparently I talk about it.
Yeah, you have some sort of obsession with bass and bassists and everything bass. So you talk a lot about it, take a lot of pictures about it. Where does it come from? Where does it start?
Well, I was actually thinking, I bought my first bass last month, 25 years late. But I think back then I wanted to learn how to play guitar. But actually, I think I meant I wanted to learn bass. But it didn't work out. It was wrong. I had to play all this campfire music with didn't like it because I think I wanted to different kind of style. But I think I liked the grunge bands. I remember a few of those had very good bass lines. One of my favorite is actually Silverchair. They have Israel's Son. It starts with a really nice one. I also bought their music sheet, the tablature, but the guitar one, not the bass one, so the wrong one. But I didn't know back then. But it's never too late, as they say. And I think I've always been enjoying it in the music. And you like to photograph drummers.
True. I should have my own category, I realize now.
Yeah.
But then again, for me, what is behind that is basically because it's the biggest challenge.
Well, not every bass player is right in front of the stage either. So sometimes they're even facing their ass towards the crowd and just playing towards the amp. So
am I supposed to comment on that?
No.
Good. No, but drummers usually hide behind their instruments.
Yes.
They often don't have very good lighting because they're in the shadows. Yeah, then there's often lots of people in front of them.
Yeah, or a snare or hi-hat or whatever, a microphone or...
Exactly. So for me, that's always like, I am going to do this. I need a picture. I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna be the best and have that picture. That's me. That's me. That's what drives me.
Well, I think it's also, it's kind of funny because in the beginning...
But they always have the best faces though.
Probably, yeah. I have to say yes.
Yeah.
But I have to, we photograph, of course. And then you're in the photo pit. And then in the beginning, there was always this like little clump of people in front of the singer.
True.
And I just wandered off. And I think a lot of time, I don't know. maybe the bass player, they groove a little bit more.
Yeah. They're often very chill indeed. Like having a good time.
They're having a good time, and I'm having a good time in the photo pit, and then I like to probably vibe along or something. I don't know.
Yeah, for me.
And then there's this little clump of people photographing the singer or the.
Yeah. Most of the times I don't start with the singer because the singer often has the good lights anyway, so it's less challenging. I always try to go for the hardest one first if I possibly can. But then sometimes you know that if the singer comes up with some sort of spectacle or something, then obviously you try that first. But I like to start with the challenges. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Next we have the Ikigai. I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but you could look it up. For now, I would say I would pick just one thing that brings joy to me or made me happy or successful or whatever. And I think for this one, I would say it would be the Christmas Advent series I did on YouTube.
They were really nice. If you haven't listened or watched them, go do that.
Yeah. It was a lot of work to get that done. A lot. But it was so inspiring because sometimes I would have to film like 3 interviews in a day. One day I had to do 5. Oh dear. And very often you only had like maybe 1 day to prepare. So that's challenging. Everyone, just so you know, I also have a day job. I'm doing medical imaging. I work in medical imaging as a quality engineer. So yeah, I do work full time on that too. Yeah, and then when you come home and you still have to film like 4 interviews. One I did in the lunch break, and the other 4 in the evening, for example. That's quite a lot. I think what I really enjoyed is that everybody gets into that Christmas spirit when you're in November and you open up the screen and they see you sitting in front of a huge Christmas tree, and make people think about Christmas already. Some say it's early, I'm not a Christmas person, but it always brought some sort of smile onto their faces.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way you get to know people in a very short time a little bit when they say what they're planning to do with Christmas or their Christmas wish. I really liked asking people that, even though it was the one that they always don't expect and had to like think about that a lot. It shows the true heart of the person we are interviewing. Like, world peace is a very common thing, but very many mention that, and that I think that you don't always realize that so many people are all wanting just that, you know.
I think maybe also when you're talking about Ikigai, or how you pronounce it, I think that sometimes we forget that music, for a lot of people, music helps with their state of mind or what they're going through. Maybe not always the Christmas music and Mariah Carey, but you know.
But then again, metal also has a lot of Christmas songs. I mean, we used to have a Spotify Christmas list for years. We've not been updating it that much because...
Yeah, but I think music helps a lot of people in their, coping with things.
Yeah, true. That's definitely true. And
so I think it's important for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Yeah. Well, then the last one that we should answer. What have you been listening to lately?
Well, lately. Well, someone forced me to come up with the best 5 albums for the last year. So this whole year...
I used to do that forever with Tempelores. I stopped doing that because people were... My team members were always very angry with me that I asked them, like... forever on making a top 5.
Yes, but the last year I've been listening to a lot of old albums from years and years and years ago.
Well,
probably when I was still doing Tempelores, and maybe my Finland time as well. But so I was listening in my car on the way over here. I was listening to the new CD from Enslaved, because I just picked it from a list of latest releases. And when we have to Well, you want me to talk about bass? So here we go. There's one of the songs, The Caravans to the Outer Worlds. It has some weird tunes to it. But I like it. I think it stands out a little bit because of that. So
okay, that one. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
you?
I have been listening to Mercury a lot. I've been hearing,
Always.
Was it? No, not always. I mean, I think I was reading a couple weeks ago or something that she comes up with the new album.
Yes.
And I do like the music she makes, although like the hype for me was never that much there as for some people it was, but I really enjoyed listening to her music. And of course, she first had a really kind of black metal sound embraced into it, which she got a lot of backlash from.
Yes.
I feel very sorry that she had to deal with all that.
Yeah. Still don't know why. Was it because she was a girl?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know.
Girls shouldn't.
I mean, like any musician uses different styles into their music, right? So what's the big deal? I mean, I didn't.
Or she was too pretty. I don't know.
I don't know. It was
strange.
It didn't make sense at all.
Yes.
Anyway, and then after that, she did this album with all these folk songs.
Folk song, yeah, volksgesang.
Yeah, but I mean,
I liked it though.
I liked it, but it's not an album that I listen very often though. And if I listen to it, I'm usually driving and just want to chill. Then I can listen to that. So I've been driving to my family over Christmas, and then I was like, okay, I heard she had a new album coming up, which is going to have a little bit more black metal into it again, which I'm happy for her that she's just like, okay, whatever, I'm just going to do it anyway. Whether people like it or not. I kind of like that attitude. And I think she also announced that she's going to be on stage again with that.
Yeah,
she doesn't seem to like performing that much. I don't know if she has stage fright.
I think she's going to play in...
Yeah, she's doing some headlining tour, I've been reading. She announced something like that.
I think she's playing Tivoli.
Oh, really? Yeah, possible. Anyway, and so I was like, okay, she's going to have that album coming soonish. Let's go and listen to some of the albums that she already made when I'm driving to my family. It's a nice way, just relaxed music that I could listen to at that point.
Yeah, that's why I haven't been listening to a lot of newer albums, because I kind of listen a lot. Well, I haven't been listening to music for quite a long time, actually, only in my car and then the radio. But recently I've put a collection of CDs in my car, because it still has a CD player and not a MP3 player or something funky new.
I have a whole
It doesn't
collection.
have tapes. It does have CDs. It does have CDs.
Hey,
my car is not that old.
Tapes are totally coming back, you know?
Yes, I know. All those releases on tape again.
Yeah, terrible.
So I have to, pick a few. And then maybe I'm a lazy listener, so I pick a few albums. They're in my car. I rotate between those CDs. So there are like a handful of CDs that I listen to a lot. I like to sing along in my car because nobody can hear me.
True. Oh, that was not me singing along to Mercure. No way.
No, exactly. That's what I've been listening quite a lot.
Yeah.
So not so many new ones.
No, but that's okay. I mean, it's good to go back to some older ones. I often say to people,
I quite enjoyed it as well.
I often say to people, if you make it with your album to my car, you're there to stay. You know?
Yes,
because I don't change the music in my car that often. And when I'm listening to music, most of the time it's music that I have to review. And then when I finished the review, I have to move on to the next one I have to review. Yes. So, and the next one,
if
and
you
the
make
next
it to
one,
the pile.
and the next one. Yeah, that pile is still...
So the pile for your car.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I have now everything on MP3 in my car, and that's good. I can also stream. I invested in a car that could do that because I literally said to the car dealer, I need one that has a cruise control because I drive a lot, and I need one that has the ability to stream music and have MP3 on the music. And I think they were looking at me and thinking, she's such a woman.
Yes.
But never mind. Yeah.
So what car do you drive? Yeah, a red one? That's
No.
what I think about girls.
But so, that's what we've been listening to. Yeah, I think that's the end for this first episode where we kind of introduce ourselves.
A little bit?
A little bit. Well, I guess in the other episodes you get to know a lot more about us and our silliness and all the adventures we go through. But that is for later. And if you want to know more about what we've been doing and you've never even know before, then you can check us out on the website Tempelores.com. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out in Facebook, Instagram, Threads even. Yes, we're that modern. We don't do TikTok because I don't like to dance. And we soon,
I think my dancing will be better than my singing.
Yeah, for me though.
But I'm not gonna do it.
If people want to watch me dance, they have to watch me in a photo pit.
Oh, but we do dance in a photo pit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I fear that I have some secret like somebody's making some secret TikTok account about us now. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, but I remember. Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
I remember a few bands we're vibing along in the photo pit.
Oh yeah. And sometimes they put up silly music.
Or even with I've been dancing with the security guys.
Oh, me too. I totally did that. Yep. Hey, but that's also
on a metal bed. Yes.
But that's the same. Like that's what we're saying. We meet all these people.
The fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we meet people on the road, and then if you're dancing with a security guy, and because that security guy is seeing you everywhere too, so you get to know each other. Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly that.
And they know you're one of the silly goofing ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But yeah, so that's do we have more social media?
No, but I think I said something about the 5. You made me listen to CDs of this year for a list of the best.
Yeah, but that's for next year. That's for next episode.
But I'm gonna say that right now, so they will tune in to the next one.
They will do that anyway, because they love us.
Well, maybe not yet.
Oh, well. Then you're the fool. Okay, I'm just gonna close it now because we keep talking. Goodbye and see you in the next one.